What's going on, guys? Unofficial MCU here. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, we have episode 3 Hawkeye breakdown, review, theories, and speculations. Those are going to be closer towards the end of today's video, so make sure you guys are stay tuned for those because there's a lot of great ones for what we're going to be seeing here in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Hawkeye show. So we are going to jump right on into it, as this episode is leaving off directly from where we last saw our characters, Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, being captured by the Bros, aka the Tracksuit Mafia, pretty much. And who are their leader? That's something that is heavily explored throughout this entire episode. That sets up really pretty much what is going to be speculated as the main villains, as plural, for the upcoming episodes for this overall series. In our first breakdown video for episode 1 and episode 2 of the Hawkeye series, the ending of episode 2 leaves with a pretty large cliffhanger for what we could possibly expect throughout the rest of the episodes for the Hawkeye series, that they're aka being Echo, also known as Maya. Maya is a comic book character first introduced within the late 90s into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as of right now within the Hawkeye series. Now, if you guys didn't necessarily catch on throughout this episode, Maya is, for one thing, deaf, which I think is really cool that they're introducing deaf and more disability type of superheroes within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including Hawkeye and his hearing disability of hard of hearing, which is something that's really cool. And furthermore, I feel like the whole trait of her being deaf is almost like a little bit of a nod towards the whole idea of Charlie Cox and Daredevil making his way into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We recently had a video covering the official confirmation of Daredevil, aka Charlie Cox, and his Daredevil character coming back into the game here with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Guys, that there was very well confirmed by Kevin Feige himself. We have a whole video talking about that here on the channel, so make sure you guys go check that out as well. However, while we are on the overall topic of Daredevil, Echo, aka Maya, connects heavily towards those characters that we do see in the Daredevil series, and I feel like a lot of other Daredevil characters are going to be introduced into the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe through the Hawkeye series and also into future content and media, rather than just giving them straight up a brand new show. This is something that Marvel is yet to do, is to simply introduce characters through a overall TV series. This is something that we are going to be seeing with the She-Hulk series and the Miss Marvel. These are characters that we haven't seen on the screen necessarily, and honestly, if you want to include it, same thing goes for Kate Bishop and her character. It's definitely going to be a little bit different and interesting to see when those characters do make their way into their Disney Plus series in the year of 2023 and 2022 in those coming years, because it's just something that we haven't seen with any of the 2021 Disney Plus series and shows. Maya definitely kicks ass when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, and I definitely think she's going to put in a little bit of work and cut the characters out for their work here. I think they definitely have it coming for them, and that they're being Hawkeye, Clint Barton, and also Kate Bishop. I think that they're definitely going to have a few struggles with the Tracksuit Mafia, which is a little bit weird of a name, to be honest with you guys, but is also what they're called in the comics. That's something very heavily huge that we do see, however, with the overall character of Maya and her early childhood that was also explored / recapped at the beginning of the episode. We see a familiar face from the Daredevil series, while we do kind of also have that in the back of our mind still, as I had just went on a little bit of a side tangent of Charlie Cox and his return as Daredevil to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Maya making her connections, aka Echo making her connections back into the Daredevil characters, and also being brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Somebody very important and dear close that we do have towards Maya and her character would be also known as her uncle. That there would be Kingpin. Kingpin is one of the main villains for Daredevil and also Spider-Man, as we do see in many of the comics and also into the Spider-Verse as well. Something else that we do know about Kingpin and the overall selection that we have here for the Daredevil characters, especially Daredevil himself, it's just kind of unknown, and it remains to be seen where, when, and how these characters are going to be introduced within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whether that's going to be through other medias, as I had just mentioned, and more likely sooner than later character is something else that is, I feel like, also kind of up in the air. I definitely think we could get some type of glimpse or mention of Daredevil, however, in Spider-Man No Way Home. Same thing goes for the Hawkeye series as well. This episode definitely had a lot of cool fight scenes as well throughout the episode as well, which of course is always a nice touch, but especially towards the end of the episode, I feel like a huge thing that's very important is that they begin to really develop on the overall relationship between Kate Bishop and Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, and it's something else that we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of the Hawkeye series. And yes, while Maya does seem to be quite a substantial character through the Hawkeye series, at least as of right now, I honestly feel like she could very well be a character that kind of quote-unquote dies out. And that doesn't mean that her character is necessarily going to be dying, but I feel like she's going to move on and find other business. Her only business and beef with Hawkeye as of right now would be Ronin, and something that not really pretty much anybody as of right now knows about Ronin and Hawkeye is that they're the same person. Right now, Hawkeye, Clint Barton is portraying both the Ronin and Clint Barton himself as two completely different characters. However, we as Marvel fans do know different, and it's something that he could very well kind of just play underneath the radar, and it would kind of go unnoticed, and that would be that, move on to their lives type of deal. Definitely a really great episode. Can't wait for next week's episode, guys. Let me know of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, guys. What do you guys think about this upcoming episode here for the Marvel Hawkeye series, guys? What do you guys want to see in the rest of the series? Some of your predictions and theories I absolutely would love to hear in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as it really does help with the channel, and check out Instagram unofficial MC for more Marvel related content, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.